Welcome to another episode of the Ridiculously Lame Wrestling Show. I am Robert Lentini. We're going to be going over the January 6th episode of Raw, the first episode of the Red Brand on Netflix, live at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles. Let's start off with the worst moment of the night on this episode. It was Hulk Hogan's promo. Holy shit, he's out there with a Real American Beer logo shirt, hawking his new beer, trying to get the crowd on his side. The crowd cheered him initially, and then it turned into a smattering of boos, and then just full-out boos because he kept talking. That was the worst moment of the night by far, and the best moment of the night was the main event. CM Punk and Seth Rollins had the match of the night easily, in my opinion, and we'll go over that match when we get to it. But let's start with the opening promo, which was another candidate for the worst moment of the night for me. I literally laughed out loud just watching the show. They have the ring covered in curtains to open the show, and they do this opening video vignette, this cold open for Raw. We're all about story here and all this storyline stuff, which I'll point out the irony in that when we get to in a little bit when we talk about The Rock. But so they have this beautiful opening promo with these curtains surrounding the ring, and then after this video stops, the curtains drop. And people online were joking about this, that Triple H would be standing in the ring alone. It actually happened. He was standing in the ring alone with a spotlight on him. It was the most self-indulgent thing I've seen. It was ridiculous. It was I just burst out laughing when I saw that, because I'm like, I know Triple H loves himself some Triple H, but I didn't know it was that ridiculous. So let's have me covered in curtains and then alone, just me. It was just, wow, it was very self-indulgent, and he welcomed everyone to the Netflix era. Then The Rock comes out. And then this was the weirdest opening to the show I could have imagined. I thought they would just get right into the tribal combat match. That didn't start till a half hour into the show. The Rock cuts a promo here. The last time we saw The Rock was at the end of Bad Blood, after Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns agreed to team up. They put their differences aside to beat Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu in a tag team match. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre faced each other in a Hell in a Cell at that show, but that wasn't the main event because The Rock returned at the end of the show, and he just stared at Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. I was like, all right, they obviously have a plan here. They wouldn't just have The Rock show up at the end of Bad Blood without a plan. But then he doesn't show up until tonight's promo, and he's a babyface all of a sudden. Not only is he a babyface, Cody Rhodes is in the crowd, and he's joking about Mama Rhodes, and he's dapping Cody Rhodes up. They're sharing a drink after this promo and on social media in front of The Rock's got his bottle of tequila in front of Cody Rhodes' Wheatley vodka bus. Just the most commercial thing I've ever seen. I'm like, what is going on here? You open the show with a 5-minute video about how we're all about story and that we're nothing without story. Where's the explanation as to why The Rock is all of a sudden Mr. Good Guy with everyone? He was trying to murder Cody Rhodes last year. He confronted Cody Rhodes on the Raw after WrestleMania, said, I'm coming for your undisputed WWE Championship. He's still walking around with that People's title that Muhammad Ali's daughter gave him. Why is The Rock a babyface all of a sudden? I couldn't believe this promo. I couldn't believe that he was hanging out with Cody Rhodes and hugging Cody Rhodes. It was ridiculous. Well, let's go over the promo here. He has a gray beard, not the full gray beard, just a light gray beard. Rhodes showing in the crowd, and The Rock says, tell Mama Rhodes that he said hello. And Cody Rhodes, big laugh, big hearty laugh. Ha ha ha. What the fuck? Why is Cody Rhodes laughing? This guy beat the shit out of him in the rain last year, and in storyline, they haven't buried the hatchet. This is just ridiculous to me. It's just like, let's open the show with a diatribe about how we're about story, and then not explain why the biggest star we have, The Rock, is a babyface. He's the final boss. No, he's just babyface Rock now. Okay. He said he wanted to acknowledge Roman Reigns. The Rock said that not only is Roman Reigns the tribal chief, but he's the original tribal chief. So he's backing Roman Reigns. I thought we were going to get The Rock returning to start a thing with Roman Reigns, a rivalry. I look like an idiot in my predictions that I made, my short. I got everything wrong. But I even got the Drew McIntyre Jey Uso match wrong. I thought I could count on that one, but I thought The Rock was going to get involved in the tribal combat match. He didn't. He showed up after. We'll get to that, but he didn't play a factor in the actual match. But he continued with this promo. He said he'll be watching the tribal combat match very closely and told the crowd that he loved them. And that was the promo. That was The Rock's appearance on Raw. That I was expecting the final boss to come down to the ring after the tribal combat match or interfere in it. I was expecting so much more when The Rock said he was going to be on Raw tonight. I couldn't believe this promo. I didn't like it at all. I'm not trying to be overly negative here. Don't give me a lecture about story and then not pay attention to your own stories. The Rock is the final boss. We've all accepted him as a heel. Now he's just Mr. Good Guy. I'm sorry, he should be Mr. Bad Guy. Now he's just a good guy. I couldn't believe it. We just had 6 months of waiting for this is just fuck it. What I got from this is that he's not going to be at WrestleMania, so they're not going to continue with any of these storylines, which is just why have him on TV at all if this is what you're going to do. I just didn't enjoy The Rock's promo tonight. Moving on. First match of the night, 30 minutes into the show, the tribal combat match. Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. Paul Heyman accompanied Reigns to the ring. Reigns was dominant early. However, Solo Sikoa took control after hitting a spinning solo on the announce table. Sikoa brought a chair into the ring, hit several chair shots. It's a tribal combat match, so there are no rules. He's still in control, but Reigns grabbed the chair and he beat Solo Sikoa down with it. Jacob Fatu interfered. Tama Tonga interfered. This led to Sami Zayn getting involved. Solo Sikoa even hit referee Chad Patton with a Samoan spike for some reason. Roman Reigns is then about to win this match. He has Sikoa set up for a spear. Kevin Owens shows up and hits Reigns with a stunner. He asks, cheering Solo Sikoa on, and he hits him with a Samoan spike, but Reigns kicks out. Cody Rhodes comes down to the ring. He's brawling with Kevin Owens. They have a ladder match at Royal Rumble. So then it's just down to Reigns and Sikoa again. Reigns then hit 2 spears and won the match. And after the match, they're celebrating Reigns and Heyman. He's about to put the Ulafala on Roman Reigns, but The Rock shows up. And he's walking down the entrance ramp. Roman Reigns' theme music is still playing, so it's not like they hit The Rock's entrance music. He comes to the ring, asks Paul Heyman for the Ulafala, and puts it on Roman Reigns, and they pose in the ring. I just never expected this scenario with The Rock returning tonight. Let's just ditch that final boss character and everything that could have been great with that. We're all just friends now. And it'll also be on New Year's Revolution tomorrow night, NXT New Year's Revolution. So he's just like the good guy now, and it's just a bummer to me because it's just the final boss character was awesome, and there was so much more to do with that. If you're going to take a pause with it, fine. Don't be on TV then. This is just I didn't like it. I didn't like The Rock's appearance tonight on Raw. The tribal combat match was entertaining. I just don't like the storyline. I predicted, I said Paul Heyman would screw over Roman Reigns, or The Rock would screw over Roman Reigns tonight and have Solo Sikoa win the tribal combat match. Now Paul Heyman has to be his wise man forever. Where does Roman Reigns go from there? Instead, Roman Reigns won, and he's just buddies with The Rock, which I thought was going to be the WrestleMania match. So just a bummer. There was another Pentagon Jr. tease, and his name was just spelled out, as you can see behind me. His name was just spelled out, so it's just confirmed now that it's Pentagon Jr. And then later on, Chad Gable was having a backstage conversation. He said, I want to put to rest this myth that I can't beat luchadors. Give me the best luchador you have next week. And Adam Pearce is like, oh, sounds good. So I'm guessing it's Pentagon Jr. versus Chad Gable next week on Raw, and that's when Penta's going to make his debut. Then we get to the John Cena promo. This was terrific. Was a vintage John Cena promo. He started off by saying, thanking everybody and thanking the crowd. The crowd chanted, thank you, Cena, right back at him. He noted that people are throwing out all kinds of names for his final opponents, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Logan Paul, Gunther, Cody Rhodes. I'd say Cody Rhodes got the biggest pop out of all those names. He then brought up the notion of breaking the world title record and capturing his 17th title, and said it's not going to happen. He said, I haven't won a match in, 2,000 some odd days. That's a ridiculous streak. I don't see how I could be in the world title picture. I'm just being realistic, and the crowd's not in favor of that. They want him to go for the title. And he's like, well, then maybe I could win the Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber, or win the Money in the Bank. Crowd gets excited. Cena said, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to win the damn Royal Rumble. And he got the crowd pumped up, said nothing is impossible, vowed to win the Royal Rumble, and said, if you want some, come get some, to end the promo. This was really good. This was just a really good classic John Cena promo to kick off his farewell tour. And then Logan Paul had a vignette right after this and announced that he's 100% a WWE superstar now. So I don't know if that means he's not going to be part-time anymore. I can't imagine that. The guy's got a million things going on, but if he's going to devote his life to this, like he said, he has the chance to do something really special for the next 5 to 10 years if he wants to. And if that's going to happen, that's great, because I'm not a big fan of Logan Paul in any other arena besides the wrestling arena. He's really good at being a WWE superstar. It's a natural fit. The Women's World Championship match, Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. I got this one wrong as well. I said, Liv Morgan's title reign has been wildly entertaining. Why do you got to take the title off of her? It worked, though. This match was very good. Dominic Mysterio and Raquel Rodriguez were ringside. They kept getting involved. Morgan actually was controlling the majority of this match, but just couldn't put Rhea Ripley away. She had 3 amigo suplexes, danced like Eddie Guerrero on the turnbuckle, hit a frog splash, but it wasn't enough. Morgan actually kicked out of a riptide during this match, too, but Ripley wound up hitting 2 more to put Morgan away and capture the Women's World Championship. After the match, Dominic Mysterio gets in the ring. He's like, give me a hug. And Ripley was not interested and just booted him in the balls instead to a monster pop. And Michael Cole points out, wow, it seems Dominic Mysterio might not be having too much fun with Liv Morgan tonight, because he just tried to get back with Rhea Ripley right after Morgan lost the title. Then after the match, the weirdest Undertaker cameo ever. He shows up with an American Badass song, driving around a motorcycle, poses next to Rhea Ripley, and leaves. That was, cool for Rhea Ripley, but for an Undertaker cameo, it was kind of underwhelming to me. Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. Also, before that, Bayley was shown talking to Adam Pearce backstage. I'm assuming she's coming to Raw. It would make sense. Damage Control's on there. Maybe reunite with them. What else can she do on Raw? She's lost to Nia Jax for the WWE Women's Championship. She's lost to Tiffany Stratton before, too. Get a fresh start on Raw. I like that idea. And this was when Chad Gable showed up and said, give me the best luchador you have, too, next week. Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. This match was not the best. The crowd wasn't all that into this match. It was a slog. They were really into Jey Uso's entrance and Travis Scott showing up with a blunt on Raw. That on live television, Travis Scott just with a blunt. That was epic. But Michael Cole and Pat McAfee also yeeted on the announce table during Jey Uso's entrance. And the crowd loves Jey Uso, but I was completely convinced that Drew McIntyre was going to win this match. He returned on the December 2nd episode of Raw. He's targeting the OG bloodline. He's defeated Sami Zayn twice, but he didn't win this match. He had every opportunity to win it, but his own ego got in the way. He was dominant this entire match, had Jey Uso set up for a Claymore, but Jey Uso collapsed to the canvas. He laughed in the corner. He waited for Jey Uso to get up. He went for another one. Jey Uso ducked. McIntyre landed on his ass, and Jey Uso rolled him up for the pinfall victory. Really underwhelming finish to me. Not impressive for Jey Uso. He just escaped because Drew McIntyre was an idiot. But I just wasn't a fan of this. Wasn't a fan of this match at all. Wasn't a fan of the finish too. But next up was the worst moment of the night. Hulk Hogan's promo. Jimmy Hart was there. The crowd didn't give a shit. They booed him. It was funny to me, but I didn't feel bad for Hogan, but I don't know what they were expecting here. I don't think they were expecting Hogan to get booed, but he did. But for next week, we got the women's IC title match: Lyra Valkyria versus Dakota Kai, Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser, Finn Balor versus Damian Priest in a street fight, and Gable versus Pentagon, most likely. Now we get to the match everyone has been waiting for months on end: CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. The atmosphere in the Intuit Dome, I gotta say, it was unbelievable. They gave out wristband lights to everyone. They all had red in their seats. It looked great. And the Dome screen was incredible. I hope they come back here a lot. There's a really cool wrestling venue. But the crowd was mixed during this whole match. It was "Let's Go Rollins" chants for CM Punk. They were singing Rollins' theme at some point. This match was very entertaining, and I do not think this is the end of this feud at all. But Rollins hit Punk with the GTS during this match, but Punk fell out of the ring. Punk then responded by hitting Rollins with a stomp while Rollins was trying to get back into the ring, but they could not put each other away. Action spilled out of the ring, and Rollins connected with a pedigree on top of the announce table, but he also grabbed his knee in pain during the move. Back in the ring, the Visionary hit another pedigree, but somehow Punk kicked out at 2. Punk hit an epic swinging neck breaker off the top rope during this match. He hit a bunch of neck breakers during this match. I thought Seth Rollins had the match won at this point. He hit a buckle bomb on Punk and then followed it up with a stomp, but he was too close to the ropes, and Punk was able to get his boot on the bottom rope to break up the cover just before the 3 count. Rollins connected with a superplex, and he was going for the Falcon Arrow, but Punk escaped. He hit a GTS and then another GTS, so 2 GTSs in a row, and he won the match. It was a great match, 20-25 minutes or so, and Punk won. He won clean. There wasn't anything nefarious. Nobody interfered. But Seth Rollins likely is going to have a lot to say after this match. He's going to want to go after Punk again, I'm assuming. I hope this wasn't the end of the rivalry. I hope they have something planned for the next few weeks, but we'll see. I thought this was a really good match. This was the match of the night, close second to Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. I did not enjoy this tribal combat match was good, but it didn't make my top 2. And the Drew McIntyre Jey Uso match was the worst match of the night, and I didn't think it would be. It was boring to me. But overall, this was a fun show. Some really painful moments though. But there was no stream issues on Netflix. And yeah, it was a good show. We'll see you guys on Wednesday night for the Dynamite review and then Friday night for the SmackDown review. So if you have not subscribed, please do so and have a good one. Thank you for watching.